I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Alpha Day Trading. If this is your first time inside the Alpha Day Trading community, please take a moment to actually leave us a message inside a chat. Myself, other mentors, leaders, and other members inside the community would actually like to take a second to welcome you to the team. Yes, this is a pre-recorded video, so no, I do not wear the same polo every single day. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You'll never know. And again, I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to the team if you are new. And if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to let us know. That's what we're here for. Now, if you guys ever notice any issues whatsoever with the community, simply refresh your browser and that will fix almost every issue. If you notice any issues with the stream quality, scroll down to the lower right-hand side of the stream, click the settings icon and actually set it from auto to 720 or to 1080p, and that will permanently set your quality so you'll never have any issues with the live stream. Now, if you still have any issues and you've refreshed your browser and you've already changed the quality, scroll down to the bottom of the chat room page, click one-on-one support, and actually send us a ticket, and we will be able to reach out to you immediately to get everything fixed. It is our main priority to make sure you guys always have the best experience while you guys are inside a chat. So once again, my name is Josh Howerton. Welcome back to Alpha Day Trading, and if you're brand new, welcome. Day one, baby. Welcome to the Alpha Day Trading community. We're so happy to have you a part of the team. We cannot wait to work with you. And if you ever need anything whatsoever, never hesitate to reach out. We are always here to help. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. Good morning. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the best trading chat room in the world. And the reason it's the best because you beautiful people are here every single day. Yes, Chris, I'm talking to you, buddy. You're beautiful, you're sexy, and you make it the best. But jokes aside, team, good morning once again, and happy Thursday. It is June. I almost said July. I'm ready for it to be July, my little girl's birthday. That's all I have on my mind right now is getting prepared for her birthday. But anyway, it's June. It's June 17th. It is 8:59 in the market. And I tell you what, Chris, you are beautiful, man. You're beautiful. We got a lot to talk about today, team. All right. We have like 15 different stocks, 15 different press releases, and we have a lot of stuff moving here in pre-market. I mean, look at our up-gapper list. We have a lot of low float stocks. 2 million, 3, 4 million, 50 million, 44 million. I mean, every single stock on our up-gapper list is a lower float stock, and each and every one is trading pretty good volume. I mean, look at MTP, 14 million shares against its 240 average. APOP, 8 million shares against its 2 million average, and it's a low float as well. You got KULR, CLSD, NTEC, NNOX. We have a lot of stocks to go ahead and talk about today, team. So I do not want to waste any time. I want to go ahead and dive on into it. And let's get prepared. Let's have some fun. And again, jump on over to YouTube if you guys are on TikTok, because you can see my screen. You can see my charting. Make sure you're over on YouTube. Again, Alpha Day Trading for our live stream in the mornings. So that being said, let's start with MTP. All right, MTP is number one on the leaderboard. So right now, MTP, we got a press release. Bright and early this morning, right at 2 a.m., MTP announces breakthrough data using QSphera technology. All right, so they are announcing breakthrough data. All right, so that being said, that's why MTP right now is our number one stock on the leaderboard. All right, MTP currently is up 76%, once again trading 14.7 million shares. And on average, MTP trades 240,000 shares. So we can see that we have substantial volume on MTP, and we can see that based on the chart as well, right? There's a lot of retail traders here on MTP, and it's a low float stock as well. It's 9.4 million in float. So again, right off the bat, MTP has a reason to be moving. There's a catalyst. We're trading substantial volume in comparison to our average daily volume, and it's a low float play. So that being said, MTP definitely has a lot of great potential today.
right now, we were looking for MTP to get back above that 340 level. Go ahead and turn that down so you don't hear that CNBC background noise. Good? Yeah. So as Cole was talking about over on TikTok this morning, he was looking for that 325 to hold and for that break over 340 for the leg up into the 366 level. And that's exactly what happened, right? We had the pullback to the 9 EMA. We had volume start to move on in. It respected that 325. We got the break over 340 and we hit target to the penny right off those prior highs. So MTP definitely is going to be one of our top watches for the day. If we get that break over 366, we have room back up to retest those pre-market highs of $3.90. All right. Obviously, we're going to have a little bit of a resistance around $4, natural resistance. But anything over $4, we have a lot of room up to $4.30. We have room up to $4.50. And we're looking right around $5, and that's when we have some fun, because over $5, we have a lot of room to around $5.72, and then we have a lot of room all the way up towards around $7 here on MTP. So right now, we do have support right there back off that previous high of 340. We can't hold above 340, back down towards around this 318, right? First pre-market high, pullback level, breakout point. You see, we have resistance, number one. We broke out with volume. That showed demand, right? We pulled back on decreasing volume, and we saw more buyers moving off that level. So right here at 5 o'clock this morning, we could see that we have great support at 318. So why did it bounce right there at 640 this morning, right? Because we had a lot of demand through that 318 level. So we saw the bounce, it cracked below, but once again, when we re-broke 318, we re-broke on strong volume. So we have demand in that 318. So with that being said, if we ever come back down towards around 318, I would definitely be looking for a dip buy over on MTP if we can't hold above 341. So right now, I want to see this stay above 318. As long as we're above 318, I definitely think we have some potential to the upside today. Ideally, staying above 340 would be the best. Again, we're looking for that 366 break up towards around $3.90 to $4. Anything over $4, we have room to $4.30, $4.50, and then $5 there on MTP. So MTP is going to be our number one watch for the day. Then we have APOP. All right, APOP at 8:08 this morning. So Biogen faces another clinical setback. CureVac's COVID-19 vaccine study fails. Moment of reckoning for whatever. So Biogen faces another clinical setback. CureVac's COVID-19 vaccine fails. Am I missing something here? I mean, I know I'm a little out of it this morning, but am I missing something on APOP? So, I mean, APOP, let's go look at Yahoo Finance real quick. I've got to be missing something here. Again, I don't want to just sit here and assume. I'm going to definitely dive into this a little bit more. So so I was looking at a wrong press release. So they filed registration statement in connection with proposed strategic merger agreement with QN Pharmaceuticals. So that was the I'm like, am I missing something? And I'm missing something. So again, they proposed a strategic merger agreement. So it's not a definitive, it's not in a, solidified, it's just a proposal. So right now they proposed a strategic merger agreement, and that's why we're seeing APOP get some hype. So again, APOP closed yesterday at 327. Right now we're trading above that 517 level of resistance, and APOP is number 2 on the leaderboard with one of the lowest float stocks that we have today, right? So it's a 3.5 million in float. Average daily volume on APOP is 2 million shares, and today we're trading 8.5, and we're gapping up 60% on a proposed merger agreement with another pharmaceutical company. So right now, APOP looking good over $5. Again, we had a lot of resistance right around 5, but we also had a resistance from yesterday's post-market highs around that 520 mark. So right now, We can stay above that 517, the 520 here on APOP. How high can it go? Well, let's just go ahead and look at that daily chart. So right here, I'm seeing $5.68 would be our next target. Still just kind of looking left, and I'm looking right there around $6.30. Then we have room up towards around $6.76. And then if we continue to grind higher, we could possibly see APOP up towards around $7. So right now, ideally, we want to see it hold above $5, right? $5 natural support. Plus, we had some good resistance that we broke above on increased volume here in pre-market. So $5 is that key level that we want to see APOP stay above. We have room to 568, then room to 630, 676, and then $7 there on APOP. APOP is definitely making it into the top 3 or 4 that we're watching today just because it has great volume. It's gapping up. It's holding its gains. It's a low flow stock. There's a reason for the stock to be moving, and we just broke above $5. So definitely we're going to be watching APOP right there out of the gates. Moving on, we have KULR. This was my $1,000 trade here in pre-market right when I got into my office. So I see the press release. I see the stock rip from around 286 all the way to 450. I mean, a $2 move in 1 minute. We had our first pullback into what? Prior daily highs. And then I start to see it start to bounce a little bit. So I'm actually buying this off of that first pullback, looking for the next leg up. Again, we had some news. What was the news here? That they received a special permit from the U.S. Department of Transportation authorizing transport of lithium cells and batteries. So it wasn't a great press release, but there was a reason for this stock to get some initial volume. So again, first initial spike, first pullback happened to be right off those prior daily highs. I jumped in with around 1,200 shares, and I took this all the way up towards around $5, locking in a little over $1,000 in profits here on KULR. Feeling good, feeling great. After yesterday's $2,500 loss, definitely feeling great that I'm starting to dig myself back out of that hole and pushing myself back closer to that $10,000 mark. So, if you guys are over on YouTube, do us a huge favor. Support the stream, support the channel, like the stream, subscribe, and hit that beautiful notification bell so anytime we go live, you guys are alerted. We greatly appreciate it, and we love the support, so thank you guys. So again, that was my trade on KULR. Again, we had the news, we had the first pullback into those previous daily highs, went ahead and took about 1,200 shares with about 20 cents of risk on the trade. I was able to lock in about $1 per share on that trade, taking me up a little over $1,000 on KULR. Right now, KULR, yes, gave absolutely everything back, right? So right now, I don't really think KULR has a lot of great opportunity. I mean, the key level that we really wanted to stay above was that 362. Another key level that we really want to stay above is going to be these prior daily highs, right? And we can see that we're really grinding to stay above $3. So if we can stay above 3 and we can re-break 362, we could definitely see this back up over $5, all right? Anything over $5 here on KULR, the sky's the limit. Our all-time high on this play is $5, all right? So anything over $5, we play this every dollar, every 50 cents, every whole number, every round number as a level of resistance. But right now, KULR has to stay above, has to stay above that $3 mark. If we start dipping back below that $3 mark, we'll most likely see it back down below 250 today. And then again, we just won't be interested in this play. It's not shortable. Is it shortable? It's not shortable. So again, if we crack 3 and we have $1 move to the downside, 50 cents, again, it's not shortable, so I can't short it. So right now, I'm looking at it to the long side, if and only if we can hold above this $3 level. And again, that $3 level is coming from prior resistance there on the daily charts. All right, so we're definitely going to be watching KULR, but that's going to be more of a back burner play, right? I think MTP has a lot better potential to focus on out of the gates. APOP definitely has some great potential. And then CLSD has some great potential as well. And then MTP, obviously, right? So again, MTP and APOP definitely making it into the top 3 to 4 stocks that I'm watching. And then definitely CLSD, right? CLSD is moving up really, really nice from a close yesterday of $4.08. Man, excuse me. Yeah, so CLSD from a close of 408, creeping up to those pre-market highs of $5.40. And right now, why is CLSD moving on up? Well, basically, we had Wedbush adjusted their price target on Clearside Biomedical, CLSD, to $18 from an initial $6 price target. So with that being said, CLSD, we have some great potential today. Support is back down towards around $4.82 right off these prior pre-market highs. Where's resistance? Right? Where's resistance? Well, we can see it. It's right off those 530 to 540 highs. So if we can break over that 535 to 540 here on CLSD, our next target would be up towards around 567 and then $6 here on CLSD. Now, if we ever break over 6, how high can this go? Well, again, we have a lot of room, guys, all the way up towards around that 875 level. All right, so anything over 6, that's when we could start seeing some nice hype and some nice action move on into CLSD and possibly get this all the way up towards around that 873 mark. So right now, I'm definitely watching CLSD, making it into one of the top 3 to 4 stocks that I'm watching. Again, we do have good volume, 4.8 million shares in pre-market. Average daily volume is 1.7 million, and it's a 44 million in float stock. So it's not a super low float. I wouldn't really expect a lot of those nasty rug pulls that we've been seeing lately with these lower float plays like APOP and MTP. So again, I like the fact that it's a medium float stock. It's going to be a little bit slower and steadier versus, that 3 million in float stock such as APOP. And so again, I wouldn't really expect to see those nasty $1 rug pulls, right? To where it's creeping up to 540 and boom, it gets dumped down the 440, right? Now you may see it happen. The market's been choppy lately, right? The market's been a little inconsistent. We could still see a lot of these false setups, right? An A+ setup go against you, but I wouldn't expect to see it really, really dump more than probably 20 cents. So with that being said, I do like CLSD. It's a medium float stock. It's trading good volume. It's currently up 28% here in pre-market, and Wedbush adjusted their price target on CLSD to $18 from $6. All right, team. And then last but not least, we want to talk about TIRX and then NTEC, right? TIRX right now is another low float stock. It's 3 million in float. We just don't have a lot of volume. It's gapping up 12%, but we do have a press release that they signed a strategic cooperation agreement with a road transportation administrative center. So again, we have news on TIRX, a low float stock. It is gapping up. We could definitely see this be a little bit of a sleeper play, right? We start to see CLSD fade on off, APOP fade on off, MTP fade on off. Traders are going to be like, all right, well, TIRX, we have news, right? Decent news. They signed a strategic agreement. That's pretty good news, right? Those keywords. It's a low float play, but it has yet to get the attention. So with that being said, TIRX is definitely going on the watch list as a back burner possible sleeper play, because if we can break over $8, right? Look at this big gap on the daily. And that's why I like TIRX, is just looking at that daily chart. If we can break over that 816 level, we have a lot of room to 956 and then possibly even $10. So from a daily chart perspective, the technicals look great, especially over 816 all the way to 950. We have news, we have a low float stock. We just yet have to get the volume. And with that being said, if we start seeing other plays that currently have the activity start fading, we could see the typical mob shift where a majority of buyers go from, say, MTP and they migrate over to TIRX, right? They shift on over from one of the top gainers as it starts fading to one of these other low float plays that has a reason to be gapping up in the first place. So TIRX, I'm watching this one aggressively over that 816 all the way up towards around that 956. And right now we have support back down towards around $6.80, and we're trading right around $7.30 right now there on TIRX. All right, so TIRX, definitely something we should be watching here out of the gates. And then NTEC. It was not NTEC. NTEC had no news. Was it SNPX that had the news? That was the possible sleeper play? There was one other one that had news that wasn't moving, but it was a low float and had good volume. Was it IPA? Which one was it? I gotta find it, because there were two sleeper plays that I was looking at here in pre-market. So VVPR, while we're talking, VVPR 917, this press release just dropped about a minute ago. VVPR shares tick higher following press release highlighting the close of a $120 million Canadian distribution deal initially announced on May 19th. All right, so initially announced on May 19th. So now we have VVPR. VVPR is slowly creeping up on the leaderboard. So VVPR is, where'd it go? Okay, right here. Up 8%. 100,000 shares traded in the last 3 minutes. Low float stock. Average trading volume on this play is 371,000 shares. So right now, VVPR definitely has some great opportunity to the upside team. All right. Again, we have a really good press release. We have a low float stock. Again, we have some decent volume flooding into this right now off the press release. So we are definitely going to be watching VVPR as well. So let's go ahead and do our due diligence and mark up our levels. So obviously right around that 921 200-day moving average. Also prior resistance there on the daily chart, right around that 920 to 921. Anything over that, we have room to 10. Right now, we're really looking at support, right? Trying to identify a great level of support, and I see right around that 790, right? I see that prior high, a lot of upper shadows over that 970. We bounced here a couple times. We bounced here. So again, I like the 970, and that's why we see 970 holding this stock down as resistance. But a break over 970 to 8, we have a lot of room to 921 over that $7.90 to $8 mark. But right now, if we continue to move down lower, I would throw our next best level of support down towards around that 750-ish mark. And we can see here that we actually already pulled back a little bit into that 750 mark there here intraday. So right now, I'm looking for VVPR to get a nice clean volume break over 8 to start trending higher up towards around 921. And then anything over 921, we do have room to $10 here on VVPR. So VVPR is definitely one of my top watches now here at the start of the day. So again, we got VVPR, we have MTP, which we've talked about. We have the sleeper play, back burner play, TIRX. We talked about CLSD. We've talked about KULR, and we've also talked about APOP. So those are my top watches, right? We had about 20 stocks with press releases. We have 100 stocks gapping up today in pre-market. We have 100 stocks gapping down, right? But we've identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks that have the best potential for opportunity and for profits today. So that's what we do every single morning. We sit here and look at these 100 stocks. We dissect them and we figure out which ones have the best opportunity and get prepared for the start of the day. So we're good to go. What website do I use for my chat room? It's my own website, Alpha Day Trading. If that's what you're talking about, what website? alphadaytrading.com. I built our platform there because I'm not a big fan of Discords. My new slogan is drop the Discords and trade with the professionals. Professionals that invest in their communities, professionals that care about their team, that want to help build them up, are going to take on some risk with spending capital to give their team the best platform and the best experience to trade on. You know, my grandma can set up a Discord. You know, anybody can set up a Discord. It's easy. Not a fan of Discords, not a fan of big, free services that people charge from. You know what I mean? We spent a crap ton of money to develop Alpha Day Trading. And again, it's like the best platform out there. How do you pick those numbers like 816? I'm looking at the daily chart, right? So if we're looking at like VVPR, what ticker? Mexoid. What ticker are we talking about? All right, so I can show you exactly where I got the 816 level from. And if we're talking about like TIRX, I mean, look at the daily chart, right? When I'm getting my levels, I'm getting my levels off higher time frames, weekly, monthly, daily. You see this 816 level? You see how we actually had a spike out? We can actually probably drag that down. The high of that candle was 813. So we can actually bring that down to 813. The stock was trading at 987. It gapped down to 784. It spiked that day to 813. That's an extreme point in price, right? That's an extreme point on that day from the gap down. So that's going to be a key level that traders are looking at for this stock to get above. So if we get above that 813 level right here, look at that big window of room that we have to the upside. You see this big open window, right? There's no price action. There's no trading that happened here. Again, it was a big gap down. Anything over that low point, we have room to that high point here at 956. So we have this big open window of opportunity, again, over 813 there on TIRX for a nice pop to fill this daily gap. Again, gaps like to be filled. May not happen today, but eventually gaps like to be filled up towards around 956. Why do you need to know news if you're day trading? No point of fundamentals. So news is important. Why is the stock moving? Is it a random pump and dump? Or is there actually a reason for the stock to be moving? Right? So that's why news is important, right? Why is the stock moving? That's huge. There's 1,000 stocks moving right now, but why is it moving? Is there a reason for the stock to be moving right now? If there's not a reason for the stock to be moving and we can't identify a reason, it could definitely turn into a typical pump and dump. It could be gapping up in pre-market and just fade the rest of the day. However, if we identify a stock is gapping up in pre-market and it has a great press release, like they met their primary endpoints, that excites traders. Wow, this company just issued a press release that they met their primary endpoints, right? Wow, I'm excited. We have a great reason for the stock to be moving up. You see what I mean? It's just psychology. So the news is really, it's not irrelevant. News is important, right? We want to find a reason for the stock to be moving. We don't want to just trade random tickers that don't have any reason to be moving on up. Again, our goal is to identify where a majority of retail traders are at. We want to trade where 80% of other traders are at. And 80% of other traders are doing exactly what we're doing. They're looking at the upgapper list. They're looking to see what kind of news there is. Is it shitty news? Is it great news? Is it average news, right? When you see a stock meeting primary endpoints, that's normally the top gainer of the day, right? When you see a press release with the name Carl Icahn in it, that's a big time mover for the day, right? There's a reason why we look at news in the morning, because again, every other day trader out there, professional day traders are trying to determine why the stock's moving up in the first place. Again, if we find a stock that's gapping up 100% on no news, do you think I'm going to be thinking long on it? Probably not, right? I don't think it's going to do a lot. It may pop, it may drop, but again, there's no reason for the stock to be up 100%. I'm going to look at that as just a typical pump and dump, right? But if there's a reason for the stock to be up 100%, such as meeting primary endpoints, other traders see that as well. That excites other traders because that's a good press release. That's when we see these stocks go on some nice big moves. So news is very, very important to eliminate the noise. That's it. News is important because we're eliminating noise. We're focused on stocks that have reasons to be moving in pre-market, and that's how we build our daily watch list. So again, it's not like we're still trading off fundamentals, like we're buying and holding off the fundamental. We're still trading off technicals, but to identify the stock that we're going to trade, we have to look at the news. And again, every professional trader does it. Look at some of the top traders in the world, day traders. They all identify why the stock's moving. All right, that is key. That is crucial to identify why the stock's gapping up in pre-market. So we'll be live in 2 minutes, team. 2 minutes until the start of our beautiful Thursday. Let's make some money. Let's have some fun. Right now, MTP's choppy coming out of pre-market. TIRX, let's throw that on the back burner off to the side, and let's keep that on watch just to see if it opens and starts to get some action towards it. Again, sleeper play, CLSD. Rolling off those highs, we have room down the 482. APOP, okay. So APOP right now hitting new pre-market highs. And what's this kind of doing out of pre-market? Look at that big push, and it's consolidating, right? It's consolidating out of pre-market. What kind of strategy does that fit into? Right? If Sunny Money's here, Sunny Money, we talked about this yesterday. What kind of strategy could we see here on APOP? The fact that we just got a spike and we're consolidating out of pre-market. So that would be a gap and go, right? So when you see a stock gapping up in pre-market, and right before the start of the day, it kind of flags out of pre-market, right? We have a pull, we have a period of consolidation, right? When we see the pull and it consolidate out of pre-market, once we get a break over those pre-market highs of 590, 80% of the time we see it trend higher the rest of the day. So we could definitely see a beautiful gap and go strategy here on APOP. But honestly, I might be looking for a little bit of a washout long first, then the gap and go. So open, pull back, bounce, and then squeeze. And we could see it bounce as high as 563 right underneath these lows. But we could also see it pull back to 541 and then get that squeeze. So again, I'm looking at APOP here right out of the gate for a possible washout long followed by a gap and go. If it breaks over 590, it'll probably run up to 630, just like that. So we're live, we're ready to go, team. Let's see what we have in store today. So it's got to hold those 590. So again, opened up right into those highs. It's got to close. Oh no. Gap and go failed. That's why I'm not a huge fan of gap and goes. I like the washout long into the gap and go, right? And that was our lesson last week. Why don't just trade gap and goes? I trade washout longs into the gap and goes. And that's my favorite way of trading it because, again, I'm getting a low entry and then I look for the gap and go versus buying at 6 and then getting stopped out at 560. I would rather wait for the washout than for that possible gap and go. But if I'm not getting that gap and go setup and it's not holding, at least I'm still locking in some profits, right? Right now on APOP, let's see what level it's going to hold above. If it does crack down to 540, I'm looking to buy the dip at $5.40 here on APOP. And today's going to be a weird trading day, guys, for me. I'm going to scalp the shit out of the market, just so you know. I'm scalping the crap out of this market today. The market's very choppy. It's very inconsistent on these A+ setups. All I'm looking to do is scalp some of these volatile moves for 10 cents, 20 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. Again, it's not really an approach for new traders, but the market's been extra choppy lately, and we haven't really been seeing a lot of these A+ setups hold on up and, you know, that are respected. So that being said, my approach today is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Boom. See you like that. Quick $100. That's all I'm doing. In and out quick. I took an entry at $5.69 for the break. I got out at $5.77. $100 even. That's weird. I've never really seen an even number on my P&L before. So that's my approach today, is I'm scalping these moves. I'm looking at price action, guys. Again, this is a strategy. This is like a trading approach that I like to trade. I really do like it. You can ask Chris and Beth. Some of my biggest months come from this very aggressive, very quick trading approach. And that's where I make some of my biggest profits. Again, I don't trade that approach because it's intimidating for new traders. I try to sit back and really hone in on these A+ setups with you guys so you can put your maybe small accounts behind it. So look at that. Washout long, base, rally, right? So we had our washout long, we based, and then we rallied for the gap and go. Right now, APOP should be everybody's #1 watch at this time. Until we start seeing this fade on off, I don't want to get overwhelmed with a million different plays, right? I want to focus on the stock that has some of the best potential, and right now we can see it's APOP. So right now I'm currently up a little over $1,000 on the day. My goal for the day is about 3K. So right now, APOP is a little, little choppy, right? We were expecting profit taking at 630. We had 630 marked up. It came up to 634, working its way back down. Let's see if it can actually hold on up above support. Let's go ahead and do a quick scan through some other plays. See if anything else is starting to move on up. We got CLSD. So we have CLSD right into that 567 level of resistance that we had marked up. Anything over that 567, we do have room up to 6. Anything over 6, that's when we have a big window up to that 875, guys. So CLSD on high watch for the break over 6. Anything over 6, a lot of great upside potential today on CLSD. So everybody in chat, give me a big good morning. I haven't had a good morning from anybody yet. I saw B Moose, I saw Chris. What's going on, everybody? Good morning and happy Thursday. So right now, CLSD getting some nice action to the upside. Oh, there we go. Good morning. Corey, Sonny, what's up, everybody? B Moose, Trader King. Oh my goodness, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Did you guys see what we did to chat? Just so you guys know, new little layout, right? So when you come into the website now, it's a little bit easier to navigate for the chat room, especially if you're on a desktop. So right now, off the bat, we have our lessons library and you have your one-on-one booking. So you could simply sit here and just toggle between the lessons library. You can toggle between your one-on-one booking, schedule that up, and then obviously the chat room. So again, easy, accessible links here. Chat room introduction will be here tomorrow. So again, everything will be in our top tab. Again, trying to clear some of this out so you can get right on down to the chat rooms. Catherine, good morning, everybody. Happy to have you here. Let's have some fun. Let's make some money, guys. So right now, I'm definitely watching CLSD. APOP getting hit pretty hard. KULR below 3. Honestly, I don't think KULR is doing too much. I know VINO's halted. They entered an agreement to develop joint Las Vegas project here on VINO, and that press release dropped right at 9:30. That's why we saw a quick spike. So right now, VINO, we're looking at a 10-minute halt here over on VINO. So definitely want to keep this one on high watch team. We have room to 8. Right? We do have room first target to 8, and then room to $9 here on VINO. So VINO is on high watch out of the halt. CLSD still probably one of our top plays at this time. So CLSD number 1, VINO number 2. We were halted at 9:31:40. We'll be live in the next 3 minutes there on VINO. So VINO off to the side for us. Right now, CLSD is probably the number 1 play that I want to focus on right now at this point in time. Is if we break 6, we have so much room to the upside towards around 875. New high of day CLSD hitting that high day momentum scanner. So right now we definitely looking pretty good there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. TikTok, what's up? Trading platform, Thinkorswim for my charting, Lightspeed, my broker. Mexoid. Fine tune that just a little bit, 508. So remember, when you're looking at any levels of support and resistance, it's always best to find 2 points in which the price had respected a level. So we see here at 7 o'clock this morning, 508. We broke above on volume. We came down and retested 508 here at 916. So I would actually bring that level down about 5 cents, but you're damn close. So good eye. I want to give you props for that. All right, so good eye. You're right on point with your level of support there on APOP. I would just fine tune that a little bit more into that 508 level. Other than that, good eye. You're learning. It shows. The support and resistance and levels, guys, is extremely important. Absolutely. So today is the make or break. Not really the make or break, but today is the day that we really see if GRAY is going to get that swing trade. So look at that nice big pop. Look at the nice healthy pullback. We're starting to get a nice little U-shape to form above our 13 SMA. We start cracking below and closing below the 13 SMA, I'm out of the trade. Remember, my risk is a close below the 13 SMA. However, I want to start to see this back over 5 today and to get some action today and possibly even tomorrow into next week on my GRAY swing trade. So right now we're still looking okay there on GRAY. If we close below 475 today, that's going to signal an exit for me to go ahead and get out of that play. VINO will be live at 9:41:40. So VINO coming on up. VINO, I have bids at 670. So again, we want to see at least a 20-cent gap up here on VINO. At least a 20-cent gap up. Right now I got bids at 7, bids at 10. Shit. All right, so let's see. Right now, VINO live here in 3. I'm a little early on that one. 3, 2, 1, live. Looking for a 643 pullback. Very quick. Come on, give me 643. Wash out. Quit squeezing. Come down 643 for the entry. We want to see the gap up. We want to see it come back down and retest the halt level. Right now, this stock is very strong, and we're starting to squeeze again. We have room to 8. I can't chase it, though. I can't buy here at 750. That's ridiculous, right? We have room to 650. Not a buyer. Can't buy it. But right now, BINO looking good. Halted once again here at 748. So what are we doing now? We're still looking for the gap, the pullback, and for the next leg up out of the halt. So right now it got halted at 748. So again, we're looking for like a 760 gap up, a wash out to 748. Boop. We have room to $8 here, and then anything over 8, room to $8.75 and $9. And give me a second, guys. I got to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Right now, I'm up about a little over $1,000 on the day. With that being said, We're still waiting for VINO to come live. VINO was halted at 9:42.16. So if this is a 5-minute halt now, we'll be live here in 3, 2, 1. We're live. Big dump. Big dump. Right now on VINO, though, we could still see the initial bounce off the halt level. So again, we're just kind of sitting back and watching VINO here. How's VVPR doing? VVPR is not doing a lot, so we'll take that off watch. MTP is struggling a little bit down here, but we're trying to find some support off like 311. Kind of still sitting back on this one, team. Waiting to see this one actually set up for us, but right now, nothing worth watching there. TIRX not getting any action, and CLSD is pulling back to those pre-market highs of 537. So let's see if we get some kind of reversal to set up here on CLSD. And then APOP, just a massive downtrend. All right, that's really all we have right here on APOP is just this massive downtrend. So again, kind of waiting for a reversal to form here on APOP as well. And it came down right into that 508 level, right? So right on down, boom, little 20-cent pop. And so let's go ahead and talk about the SPY. So again, the Fed comes out, talks about inflation, yada, yada, yada. We all know. Big, nasty red day yesterday, right? So right there yesterday, down about 1%. We gapped down below the 13 SMA. All right, so right now, as long as we stay below 422.24, as long as we stay below that 13 SMA, we could see SPY back down towards around $417. So right now, that's what I'm looking at here. Not only just the 13 SMA at 422.24, but also yesterday's close at 422.09. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and grab a Fibonacci extension, right? We did Fib extensions yesterday from high to low, back up to the high. And this is going to give us an idea of where the stock could push back up to. We look at that 13 SMA, the 13 SMA puts us right around the 50% as well. So not only could we see a 50% push back to the upside, tag that 13 SMA, we'll also be tagging that prior high right there. So right now, we did pull back. We're getting rejected by the 9 EMA. We're getting rejected by that 78.6. And so we could definitely start to see the next leg down here on the SPY. So I want to go ahead and get my Ninja Trader up, as we may have some opportunity for some futures and for some options here on the SPY today. So again, we know that we're going to have some resistance off yesterday's close, which is pretty close to the 61.8. And then we also have resistance right around the 50 Fib extension, which is going to be that 13 SMA. So those are just a couple levels that we're looking at. Like to see it stay below VWAP. Would like to see it stay below the 9, which is that 78.6 Fib. But again, we're just kind of sitting back and waiting to see if we're going to get the next leg down here today over on the SPY. And just in case, I do have my broker up, ready to go, just in case we do have a trade coming on up. Go ahead and switch this to MES, and I would be looking at 5 futures contracts on the micro E-mini. I was in here last night trading. Last night I was able to lock in about $98 on a nice little trade around 7 o'clock, so that was fun. You hear that it's still getting some rejection around that 78.6. So if we start cracking below the lows, where could we see this down to? We could probably see it down to the 121s next. So we'll keep the SPY on high watch as well. So CLSD giving quite a bit back, but we are trying to hold above those pre-market highs of 533, right all around that 530 to 533. But again, these reversal setups yesterday weren't playing out, right? They were not playing out yesterday. So one thing that I'm not going to do today is be the guinea pig on a reversal off of these pre-market highs, aka new support. I am not going to do that because yesterday I would get in right now, it would try the push, and then it would dump hard. So I am not going to be the guinea pig because yesterday, that's where I got chopped out a lot of, is looking at these quick little double bottoms, looking at those reversal setups, and none of them worked out. So am I going to be the guinea pig today and try to give this a go off a reversal? Absolutely not. Because again, yesterday, the day before, not good trading days because again, none of these setups were actually holding on up. So right now we have APOP. So we had a nice little drop down to the 507s, consolidating. Now we just need to wait to see this back above the VWAP. We have room to 563, anything over 563, back up towards around these highs of 634. Yeah, let's definitely not YOLO everything into AMC or any stock for that matter. Never really a good idea. To never YOLO everything that you have into one given stock unless you're like, you know what, I don't care if I lose all my money. If you don't care, then fine. You're just gambling. But yeah, never recommended to YOLO on any play. Right? There's a rule of thumb. You should not invest more than 10% of your portfolio. In a swing trade or in an investment. You have to diversify, right? So you have to diversify a little bit. So I'm looking to buy a quick bounce play at that 642 here on VINO. Quick little dip buy opportunity at 642 for me. For the possible scalp, 10, 20 cents maybe off the first halt level. Halt level to the downside right now is going to be 610. So we should be good to go. So it started the prematurely bounce at 648. So I'm not really looking at the bounce now. I was looking at that to come right down to 642, then get that nice little 20-cent bounce. Right now, I'm probably not looking for that dip buy anymore here on VINO. Gonna sit back and wait for this to actually set itself up now for a better trade. CLSD, again, not trying to be the guinea pig. A lot of these trades simply are not holding on up today, and yesterday and the day before. So right now, I'm not going to be the guinea pig on a lot of these reversals because we haven't really been seeing a lot of these reversals play on out. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that was, guys. I'm really disappointed I missed it, but right into yesterday's close, right into the 61.8 Fibonacci extension, kabam, getting crushed. So right now, I'm not really seeing too much that I want to get involved with. Right now, really like, you know, Cole said, you know, I'm sitting back, sitting on those hands, waiting for the A++++++ setup. And right now, we kind of look at everything we have. The INO, it's a little uncertain, right? Could it crack below 640? Could it rip and run all the way back up? We don't really have anything to go off of right here on the INO. It's a little risky. MTP, again, we have not yet confirmed a reversal. We have yet to get a higher low followed by the higher high. So right now, we're still technically downtrending on MTP, so I wouldn't be looking to take this for a reversal quite yet until we get that set up and that confirmation. TIRX, I still want to keep this one on watch as that possible sleeper play, but right now it's not really doing all that much. Like Chris said, not a lot going on in the market right now, team. CLSD still giving everything back. APOP trying to stay above that 508. Again, coming down, bouncing, trying to put in a higher low. But again, why am I going to try and nail these reversals when they're not really working on out? So realistically, guys, we have a lot of action. We have a lot of volume, right, over on some of the larger cap plays. So if anybody wants to trade some options, let me know. If you guys aren't really trading options, I'm not going to sit here and talk options. If you guys are purely equities, small caps, penny stocks, we're going to focus there. But if anybody's trading some options, then we'll definitely dive into some of my watch list when it comes to options. GRAY is still on high watch today. Well, yeah, let's see if we have anything. You know, especially on like the SPY. Right now it's just a little choppy. That was a good little short there. So I'm a big fan of just keeping options simple, right? So when I look to day trade an option, I go to the closest expiration. I come down and I find the strike that has a 30 delta, and those are the ones I buy, right? That's kind of my rule. I'm looking for a 30 delta because what does the delta represent? Every dollar that the stock goes up or down, you're going to make or lose approximately the delta, right? So I'm looking usually around that 30 delta to where if I buy one contract and the S&P moves up $1, 1 point, I make the delta. In this case, it would be about $35. I would buy one contract for 70. So I would make about 50% return per dollar move that the SPY makes, right? So that's kind of how I gauge my options. That simple. Closest to expiration, 30 delta, right? And then I can manage my risk appropriately. I'm looking to risk no more than 50 cents and I'm looking for $1. Or I'm looking to risk no more than 25 cents on the chart to make 50 cents on the chart, which would equate to approximately half the delta, $15, right? So that's really how I keep it simple with options. So let's see if we have anything coming on up. Cool, so we have something starting to move on up. So let's go ahead and look at some of our levels real quick. Let's go ahead and dive into that 1 hour chart here on AMC. Saw the big head and shoulders, but again, we're starting to grind back up, and we would have room next to 57.20. Then anything over 57.20, room up to like that 59.26 level. Right below 60 on AMC. Right now, support's back down at 55 here on AMC. And we got CLNE getting a nice little pop to the upside. So CLNE, basically they're moving higher on other Wall Street bet names. So we have CLNE. We could look at like KOSS. We can look at a stock like BB. We can see here that we have some of these, some of these hype stocks getting some action today, right? We have BB, you got KOSS, you have CLNE. CLNE seems to be doing much better. And then obviously we have AMC. MTP's coming off watch. Keep your eyes on TIRX team. All right, so TIRX is finally starting to get some volume to move on in again. That sleeper play that I was talking about. Look at this. We're starting to get some really nice hype here on TIRX. Again, this was a sleeper play that I was looking at this morning. If everything started fading on off, you know what? TIRX, good news, low float. We could definitely see some nice action. But really, we got to get over that 763 and over 8 before we have this big window of room to run. So right now, definitely all eyes here on TIRX. Because again, we're seeing CLSD fade and APOP is just kind of sitting sideways. So right now we have that mob shift. We have traders running on over to that low float sleeper play. And we nailed it. TIRX getting some nice volume right here. Let's see if we can actually hold on up. All right, guys, so last call, I dropped a link and a coupon for you over on YouTube. Again, absolutely free for the next 7 days on me. 7-day trial. Trade with us for the next 5 trading day, guys. Let's have some fun. You get access to everything. You get access to the private sessions. You get access to 100 video lessons in our video lessons library. I mean, you name it, you get access to all the amazing benefits underneath that trial. So don't miss out. See what all the hype's about, YouTubers. Until next time, happy and safe trading, and I will see some of you hopefully inside of chat, and if not, back over on YouTube tomorrow at 7 o'clock a.m. as we do our free stream Friday.